Welcome back to another edition of the Down and Back with CornDoug. This week, another great show. The person who's been on the show the most, by far now, will be back here making another appearance. Mr. Trey Ryder, fresh off, I want to say the World Finals, but we know there wasn't a full Canada conference down there, so we can't say World Finals. But we do talk about him being fresh off his day off. So we get to find out just what he does on a day off because really, I think all he does is work. But anyway, some big things happening here. We just had a couple weeks ago the Simcoe County Cornhole Championships coming up now this weekend in Peterborough. Peterborough Cornhole right here. Shout out Adam Hubbard. We will be there. Down and Back will be there in Peterborough at the Haven Brewing Company. I'm going to look at Facebook now. Haven Brewing Company in Peterborough. Check it out. Check out Peterborough Cornhole Facebook page. You get the address, everything. Registration starts at 11. Bags fly at noon. I will be there. We'll be doing some stuff for the show. You want to be on the show? Come to the Haven Brewing Company for the Summer Ender Bender. I got it right that time. And we'll you can maybe chance to be on the show. You can buy some show merchandise. The Down and Back of CornDoug shirts will be there available, $20, or you can now send a private message on Facebook. Message me, $20 plus shipping. You can get a shirt, a limited time only of the white shirts. I got in trouble. The wife says no more white shirts. So this will be the only batch of white shirts available. There'll be 15 white shirts out there. You'll be the only ones wearing white shirts, white down and back shirts. Anyways, yeah, so send me a private message. You can purchase it for $20 plus shipping, and I will get a shirt out to you. Right now, we just have large, extra large, and 2XL. If you need a bigger size, or just when you do message me, let me know what size you want. I will make sure to get that size. So that's a fun thing to help out the show, and then to support the show. Show everyone that you do watch the Down and Back, or you listen, or if you're listening on audio, head back over to YouTube and hit that like thing down the bottom and subscribe. We're getting close to the 300 subscribers. So let's try and get that within the next month because stuff is taking off. I'm having too much fun. I'm rambling on again. Back to the Peterborough Cornhole. So see me there this weekend. It's a full switch holio format. Should be fun. And then I believe there's a get together afterwards, a little fun party. Not sure if what Sean said on the show last week about Adam with the free beer for everybody. Not sure if that's going to happen, but we will be there having fun late into the night. I have a feeling that I will be spending the night in Adam's driveway. Have that feeling. But so come check that out. That is Saturday, August. What is Saturday, August now? August, I'm going to say the 28th. That is Saturday, August 28th. Haven Brewing Company in Peterborough. Check it out. It is an outdoor tournament, so it will be Adam saying rain or shine. So I will be, like I said, I'll be there doing stuff for the show. Also doing some work for Cornhole Supplies Canada. So you will be able to buy bags there. You'll be able to buy octane bags. We'll have the some game changers there, some all cornhole stuff. I believe we have local bags, Reynolds bags, fire bags. So anything you need, you'll be able to purchase at this Summer Ender Bender. No need to pay for the extra shipping and the extra duty and everything, all coming up from the States. Cornhole Supplies Canada does that for you all at Canadian prices. So check them out online, Cornhole Supplies Canada. And why don't we just go through the other sponsors as well, too, because we've still got Octane Cornhole. Using discount code CornDoug gets you 10% off Octane Cornhole for all your cornhole needs, your shirts, your bags. I think that's all he's got right now. But yeah, all of that. And then head over to myearfund.com. Discount code CornDoug gets you 20% off there. Your earbuds, your Bluetooth speakers, because really, who doesn't need a waterproof Bluetooth speaker? You can just throw in the pool, got music while you're out there playing in the pool. So that JC Cornhole, jccornhole.com. Tell Jamie I sent you. As always, we don't know if he's going to give you a discount or charge you more just because of me. I know he's been busy. I've seen a whole bunch of boards being pumped out Canada-wide, coast to coast. Yeah, I've seen boards that went to BC, boards that went to Nova Scotia. He's really pumping boards out there now, looking good. And then if you're in Alberta, Edmonton, Sherwood Park, as always, to be exact. Darren's doing some great things with Sierra property inspections. That's great. They're right there. SierraHome.com. It's just going by on the screen there. Check Darren out if you're in that area. He will go give your house the best inspection. He's rave reviews there, and as always, portion of his fee will go to a children's hospice there for cancer. So you're getting your home inspected and you're doing something really good. So that's for that. So we're going to go. We got a new season coming up. Really, really excited. A lot of new changes. Some changes especially with the Octane team. So we've lost a couple of our pro players for Octane. Mike Ferreira moving over to with his new partner Sarah Cassidy, moving over to All Cornhole. Sad to see him go. He was a great guy for the Octane brand and even friend of the show. He was always able to come on whenever I needed someone. So best of luck to him over with All Cornhole. Some other teams and even some other changes as well. Cheyenne Renner moving over to All Cornhole, leaving Ultra, going over to All Cornhole. And a lot of it, like I know Gross and Sims, they're moving to TC Boards Bags. They're leaving BG, which is a big thing because they are in the heart of BG country. So we'll see what that there. And I've even said some new teams coming in. As I mentioned, with you'll see with Trey, because we kind of talk about it. That Power Rubin team is really got like I always say how I like having teams that have been together for a while because you get that familiarity with the other person. For me, it's still a big thing being comfortable with the other person, the other end of the boards. But that's a team I really want to look out for, see what's going to happen with them. Matthew Morton, Ian Cripps, I want to see how that's going to go because they are not going to be able to play together all the time. So they're only going to be able to see each other at tournaments to play in the big tournaments. So that's going to be a big factor. I think it's that whole chemistry thing that I think needs to happen. And Matthew, as always, if you're watching the show, or Mike, you can tell Matthew, earbuds in, hood up, the unithrower. Bring the unithrower back. You need that. That's what I think. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of anything else that is going on in the cornhole world here. September 11th coming up here. Kickoff battle to, not really kickoff battle, kickoff to the ACL Canada. More on that next week. Little teaser. St. Clements Cornhole Cup. We're moving to a bigger venue in St. Clements. We're moving from the pavilion into the ball field, so we'll be playing outdoors on that. That is September 11th. Check kwcornhole.com, KW Cornhole Facebook page to see more about that. Hoping for a bigger, better event. I know it's going to be multiple divisions that people can play in. I'm already hearing that some people are really looking forward to winning this tournament. So they're bringing in some hired guns from south of the border to try and take down this title. But yeah, it should be a great day. This will be our third one. Couldn't do it the last year because of COVID. So we're moving on with number 3. That and yeah, that's about it. A lot of the leagues, Essex County Cornhole League, Evan down there in the Windsor area, they're moving into their playoffs for their league. I know Sean and Amber out in Newfoundland, Cornhole Newfoundland, they are getting down to their playoffs, and also big news for them, they are moving to a third night. So they're now going to be playing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the St. John's area. Check out their Facebook page for more on that, on their new venue. I know their Wednesday, Thursday are the Pleasantville Legion, just outside of St. John's, and their new one will be in a bar. They're playing in a bar, so that's another new thing for them. So check them out if you're in that area. And then, as always, making sure, as I said off the top of the show, if you're listening on audio or even watching YouTube, making sure you're hitting that like button, which is that thumb that's right there, I believe, or no, actually, no, it's right there. And then subscribe is over here, and there's a little bell there that you can hit, and you can find out anytime something goes on here with the Down and Back, you will find out about it. So here, done listening to me ramble on about tournaments coming up and whatever. Here is my talk with Cornhole legend. Let's go with that. Mr. Trey Ryder. And as promised, back on the show again, Mr. Trey Ryder. Trey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Doug. I think this is number 5. I think I'm on number 5 on the show.
I think it's 5 or 6. I think it's 5 or 6. I know you have officially passed pitcher. I think with this show. So yes.
Take that, Timmy. I'm number 1.
And I will tell you that he's not going to be coming on today like the last time.
He can't sneak on this time. So there we go. Give me my number 1 spot, Doug.
Exactly. So one thing I wanted to ask you, because you made a little bit of a big deal about it the other week, and it's going to be a 2-part question. What does Trey Ryder do on his day off that he finally gets? And the second part of that is, because I know from experience, how long did it take Shelby to say, don't you have somewhere to go?
Yeah. The first answer, my last day off. I just had it a little bit ago. I made an intentional effort that I wasn't going to do anything. And so I literally watched TV and sat on my couch and did nothing all day long. And it was amazing. I will say by the end of it, though, I literally had to tell myself not to answer messages and not because then my brain started going, oh man, I could get ahead of this. Like I got this thing I need to do next week. Maybe if I just started, make it. And then I was like, no, you got to stop. You got to do. So apparently that's what I call it, a workaholic, I guess. But either way, no, I enjoyed it. Went out by the pool a little bit, just kind of hung out and just didn't do a whole lot. So relaxing. I can sometimes turn off, and when I like to relax, I really like to relax and do nothing. But no, my wife. Now, luckily, Shelby was actually with her parents that day, and that's why I didn't hear much of it. I was literally by myself with the dogs. So, but no, yeah, when she's always the go too. If we do have a weekend off or a weekend where I don't have much to do, she's always like, all right, are we done? Can we do something? She's always go as well. So it's, but I did enjoy my day off. I did.
Well, I know for myself, I get in trouble because my day off from my regular job is spent on the couch with the ACLDN on the TV, Facebook Live on the Chromebook here, doing the second job of Cornhole, and then I get in trouble for that because what are you doing watching Cornhole again? Well, hey, I have to do it in case I talk to Trey again. I have to know what's going on. So.
Yeah, well, that's how my life was for years and years, and then I was lucky this year to kind of finally come on full time, and so now it is nice. It is nice because I can really focus on it 24 hours a day, and I think that's not 24 hours a day. I can focus on it as a full-time job, and I think that's benefited a lot of people. It's benefited. I'd like to think it's benefited the league. I think it's benefited my well-being and everything like that. But I think it's been really great.
I think what's going to benefit the league is, I hate that I didn't get to see it in person, but your new work environment that you have that seems to be on the go all the time.
Yeah, the ACL HQ just opened that. Website went live today, actually. I play cornhole.com/HQ, so you can check that out. But it's been incredible. My dad, Eric Ryder, he is the general manager there, so he's been completely wide open on trying to get that up and running. He's done a great job. It's cool, because we open at 4:00 and I'm still in my office, and it's cool to see when 4:00 hits, you see people coming in. What is it? Oh yeah, we're open. Yeah. So it's cool to see, people coming in. We're making a big splash in the city of Rock Hill. It's an exciting time for us. And I think that facility is something that hopefully it's something that's super successful and something that can be franchised across the country, because I think it has great potential, right? I mean, bowling alleys are super successful. I don't see any reason why, a cornhole version that has some, great options for drink and a good location for events can't be as successful as well. So yeah, certainly excited. to see what the future is for our HQ.
I know for myself, the days I'm not, when I'm in Charlotte when I'm in NASCAR, the days I'm not at my buddy's man cave, I know I will be at the down in Rock Hill. So it's now another place for me to do something else.
Yeah, we'll save a court. We'll have a court reserved for you, Doug, when you come by.
No, I may spend a week there, so you never know. But no, talking about that being a successful season, like this was just action nonstop all season with the opens and the pro shootouts. It was just, it's just some of the best cornhole we've seen played.
Yeah, unbelievable year, right? So obviously we have things like coming out of our pandemic and then launching both our open series and redoing our national series. And so we had that, and then we said, hey, why don't we just throw on a CBS series on top of it? So yeah, it was a lot of moving parts. We learned a lot. And so this coming year, I think you're going to see for the first time some consistency from year to year, because it feels like we've changed every single year because we keep finding things that we like. I think what we found this year was a model that we really like. There may be some little things that we're adding, but for the most part, I really think what we're going to be launching here and doing in 2021, 2022 is going to mimic what we did this year, but we've learned so much that we're just going to make it that much better, right? We learned what went well on the open standpoint. We learned what went well at the national level, the pro shootout level. We learned a lot of different things. And so for us, from our memberships to our player guide, which just came out today, to our structure of our pro division, to our events that we offer. I mean, I think this year is really, like, this year opened a lot of people's eyes. And then this year, I think really people are going to go to events and enjoy them because they're going to be catered and they're going to be practiced and they're going to be perfected. And so I think this coming year is going to be just more explosion of growth, just because I think it's going to be something that can really be enjoyed by everybody, whether you're a player or a spectator, because spectator is another big focus for us this year, is especially at our pro events. We want to build out our events to be spectator events. We want people to come and watch. We want people to become fans of cornhole that don't necessarily play or aren't playing yet. So that's kind of a big initiative for us. And that starts with getting a schedule laid out and getting a schedule out there. And so I've been hard at work trying to solidify that, but we'll have a full season schedule ready to go on October 1st. So we're excited for that. And ready to bring in our new batch of ACL pros, but ultimately it's going to be a big year.
And I think as far as the crowd standpoint, I think if we could have every crowd the way the Clemmer Birchfield match was, I think everybody would be hooked.
Absolutely. I mean, that energy, I think part of the reason that shot was so great on to clip and as a highlight was because of the crowd's energy. And, if you look back to some of our greatest shots that we've seen, part of the reason I think we label them as great shots is because of the crowd reaction. I think all the way back to, Brett Guy in 2018 hit that airmail drag for 8 points, right? Part of the reason that it was such a great shot is because you could see the entire crowd's reaction to it. And it felt like you were there in the moment. And I think that's what's so important, is to start getting those type of crowds. Rock Hill was amazing. And we just want to be able to translate that to every other event that we have going forward.
And I think we've even tried to kind of recreate that here with some of our tournaments, but the thing that ends up happening is those final matches are at the end of the day, everybody starts leaving once they're out. It's keeping that crowd there, keeping everyone kind of, engaged to be able to do that.
Yeah, well, and for me personally, I think honestly what is a better strategy is to not target the cornhole players and cornhole players' families as our target audience for our spectators, right? Nothing wrong with that group, that crowd, but like you said, they're exhausted. They've been playing all day. Some of them just want to go home. So for us, it's about bringing in a new audience. It's about focusing on selling that aspect of the event, right? Your average Joe that doesn't know anything about cornhole, they don't want to watch 10 hours of cornhole. Maybe in the future, maybe if they get hooked, they'll be like me and you, Doug.
Yeah.
But, as of right now, they want to watch the best in the world for 4 matches. They got a 1 hour or 2 hour attention span. They want to show up. They want to watch the finals. They want to see someone get crowned. They want to be in awe, and then they want to leave. And so for us, we need to start building out our events, especially at the pro level, to cater to those exact people, to the people that want to come in. It's a 7 o'clock broadcast. They're going to show up at 6:45. They want to be shown where they need to sit. They want to find a seat. They want a little sign. They want their 4-bagger sign. You want to grab a couple beers. They just want to watch. They want to watch professional cornhole and have a good time. And those are the type of people that we want to be bringing into the events. And that's ultimately what's going to make our environment that much better, because they're more likely to get completely enthralled with what they're watching, right? Me and you, if I see a 4-bagger, to me, it's something I see every day, especially if it's a slide, double 4-bagger type of thing. But to them, that is the best they've ever seen, right? And so they're more likely to get engaged. They're more likely to get excited. And so when we see those type of people come into our broadcast courts, we know that it's going to be a successful event.
Well, exactly. Like it's probably just well over a year ago now when I had the guys from the UK cornhole on, when they're just starting out, and they wanted to have that darts atmosphere.
Yep.
With their cornhole, and that's exactly what you guys had at Rock Hill with that Clemmer Burstfield match. Yeah,
that Clemmer shot is amazing. It was the situation was great, but yeah, the energy was just it was unmatched.
No, I could feel it here just watching it, but again, like I said, I was stuck here. So, but the other question I wanted to have is coming out of Rock Hill as well. You kind of went through it on Twitter as well, to asking about the doubles.
Yep.
Right. And I've had some talks with people here, and people don't agree with me, but it is what it is. I think the longer partner, the people who have been partners together longer, have a little bit of an edge, just because there's I don't want to say a comfort feel to some of these super teams who are just kind of 2 single players that are great playing with each other. I have that comfort feel that I need as a doubles player.
Yeah, well, I think if you've been together with your partner for a long time, it means that you've stayed together because there's been some form of success. So the key in a sport in which is 95% mental, once you get to the pro level, is finding a way to translate your raw skill into results. And so most of the time that's a mental part of the game. And a large part of that, in my eyes, is confidence, right? And so what a set of partners that know each other very well, take, for example, a Cody Henderson and an Adam Hissner, what they get from each other is ways to generate confidence. If Adam Hissner, on the other end of him, had someone that was very stoic, didn't say much, is that person necessarily going to hurt Hissner on the other end? No. But is the way that Cody goes about himself during a match, in my eyes, what that does is it gives extra confidence to Adam Hissner on the other end. And it provides some level of support that a lot of other people just don't understand. And so you're right. If you get someone like a Jamie Graham and a Matt Guy pairing up, what you end up happening is, if they don't have any chemistry, they won't necessarily hurt each other. I guess they could if the dynamic, if there's any negativity that the other one can't handle. But the dynamic is just going to be kind of neutral. Where they take the next step up is when they start to develop chemistry from one another. And so I started to see a little bit of that in Valley Forge. Now, they did win in the bag brawl. They won in Vegas. I still didn't think they were necessarily clicking at that point, but they found a way to win. But in Valley Forge, I saw some level of communication and trust and confidence in each other. That's when I think they became a top level team to go head to head with. Now, Matt wasn't the same. Matt and Jamie weren't who they were at the World Championships. I think Matt's health had some part to do with that. But for the most part, I really liked what I saw from them at the end of the season. So what I'm saying, and it's kind of like what you're saying, I expect teams that have been together for a while and have established chemistry to do well in the first half of the season. I don't expect real chemistry to be generated until that third event or so that people finally have some familiarity with one another, especially if a pro team is not playing with each other in between the pro events. And that's going to be true for someone like a Jamie Graham and a Matt Guy, who are in different regions of the country. So I look for, if you have someone like a Trey Birchfield and an Alex Rawls, people at home, don't be surprised if they don't play with each other at all throughout the fall. They try to jump into that first national, and if they just do okay. And that has nothing to do, they may come in first and second in singles, right? Mm-hmm. But playing together as a team for the first time, even if you are a super team, I really think it is difficult to establish that chemistry with limited play time with each other. So look for them to kind of take a couple events, and by the third national, the fourth national, I really expect them to get in a groove, and that's when I think they'll contend.
Yeah, and you've seen so many other, we want to call them super teams, who have now kind of come together that are starting to be announced. Like, I'm really looking forward to, I believe, is it Ruben and Power that are going to be together?
Jay Rubin and Jordan Power, yeah, it's going to be a good one too.
Because Jordan kind of come out of, I don't want to say nowhere, but it kind of was like that.
Yeah, no, it really was. He certainly had a rookie season that was a breakout year and became someone that now people fear and should fear.
Mm-hmm. And it's just that was my fun part about this year, is watching so many other new players establish themselves.
Yes,
it's some of them weren't getting to where they wanted to go, but you were seeing them more consistently on broadcast.
Yeah, like your boy, Mike Ferreira, winning Breakout Player of the Year. That's your boy, right?
Well, yeah, yep, yeah. So it's and that was that was the thing. It was just because him and I had talked earlier in the year, and people weren't talking about him, so he had that bit of chip on his shoulder, and that's kind of what he played with for the year. And he was like, you know what? He just kept going through it.
Yeah.
So it's.
Yeah, and I was so surprised. It's so difficult to see someone play in a division for a number of years and then all of a sudden out of nowhere have a real breakout year. And I think that's what surprised me so much, is because he really came out of nowhere. I mean, because he was not successful in previous seasons. I mean, and he became a top talent. And I don't know what he did, but whatever he did, the players that have been playing a while trying to figure out how to finally make that breakthrough. They need to study whatever Mike Ferreira did.
Oh, exactly. And it's just it's his talking about the Breakout Player of the Year. The first ever Stevies that you guys had at Rock Hill, which was a fun night there as well too.
Yeah, no, we love the Stevies. That was something. Again, that's one of those things where we said, you know what, let's do it and let's just throw it together and see what happens. And so there's minimal planning, but we wanted to test the water and see if it was something that people responded to. And I think the resounding answer was yes. And so for us, that's certainly something that we want to continue to do, because, I thought everybody responded really well to them and they really enjoyed them. And I thought it was a special night to be able to, recognize some of our best players, our best directors, our best supporters in the game. And because of that, I think that's something that we want to repeat every year. And so just like everything else that we do, the second, third, fourth, fifth time that we do it is just going to be better and better every time.
I know for myself, I was shocked when I got that message saying, can you be a part of this? I'm like, I'm just this guy in Canada that just talks cornhole, but it was fun to be able to be part of something, because then it gave more meaning to what we were watching, and just it was just fun to do it. And then after, to see everyone talking about it after already the votes were already put in, and all of a sudden there was like this huge discussion, which really got a lot of people thinking.
Yeah, no, I think that's what's great. That's what we want. We want more discussion in the sport, right? I mean, I think, and that's why I wanted to include you and include some other people that have been influential in the game, because I think it's important for people to to hear someone, like I say this all the time, it's important for people to hear someone's voice other than mine, and to develop other personalities in the game. And I think you've been a great leader in the sport in that, you started, when you started your podcast and your show, there were 2 people listening, right? Yeah. And so, and all you did was grind, right? Grind. And it doesn't matter. And it's, if you had 3 people and you had 2 people yesterday, then you were improving. If you had 5 people and yesterday you had 4, you were improving. And so for you, I think it was important to, in a way, recognize you as someone that was influential in the sport, as one that was knowledgeable in it. We just want to continue to have people talk about our game, because that's how it gets bigger, right? We can talk about it all we want, but the more people that are talking about it, that are independent of what we're doing, the better off we're going to be, and the more successful the entire sport will be.
Well, like I keep saying, I'm still shocked that next month will be 2 years. I was surprised it was going to be 2 shows last longer than that there, but it's, it's having fun, getting to talk cornhole, getting to see new people. I was actually at a tournament a couple weeks ago and seeing some new people, some new faces. I know there was Barb and Roger. I just happened to forget their last name, or at this tournament up the Simcoe County Cornhole Championships, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're just backyard players." I think they just came up from Florida, and like, "Oh, we're just backyard players," and then they pull Vipers out of their bag, and I'm like, "You're not backyard players. I know that just by you pulling out Vipers." But it's just, and then to see them and just the whole new faces, because and I think I did message you once I kind of was asked about the one thing to give my top 5 players in Ontario here. And it was like, okay, here's mine. A lot of people didn't agree with it, but it was just, it's now seeing more people playing up here. And it's just great, because coming out of COVID, we've exploded here. And I can't wait to be able to work with you more with ACL Canada coming up, which more on that next week. But yeah, it's just, I think the growth here is just, unimaginable.
Yeah, you're gonna see the same type of growth that we saw, right? It's gonna be big, and then you're gonna kind of feel like you have your feet underneath you, and then it's gonna explode again, and you're gonna have no idea what to do, and you just gonna have to figure it out along the way, and that's what's great. Growing pains really is a thing, and something that we've had to deal with. But yeah, I can't wait to see how Canada is. I mean, we really. We want to get an open up there. And so I think it's important for us. We're going to be looking to see what our opportunities are there, but we want to get up there. I want to get up there. I've never been to Canada, believe it or not. So
we're ready for you to come up here and play some cornhole.
Yeah, well, no, you don't want me playing. I promise you that.
It's the same with me. Like last week, Sean asked me, how I did it at Simcoe County Cornhole Championships. I said I went 5-0 in the fun division. He said, "Well, what about competitive?" I was like, "I went 5-0 in the fun division." That's all you need to know. It just ended there, and then I sat and I did commentating for like the rest of the day. That's all I did. But that's another whole ball of wax. Like I got to give you credit, because when you're sitting there and it's like, this guy's in. Okay, that's all you're saying. And then if players start to, miss the board or that, and then you're trying to, it almost becomes like golf, where you're trying not to say it too loud, but you got to say it loud enough to get in the mic. And then you got the daggers looking back at you, and you're like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah. You're not gonna please everybody. I can't tell you how many times I've said, I've heard people say, "Oh, talk about the match, quit telling stories," because I'm a storyteller once we get a little bit off track here. But you're always going to have people that say that they know how to do it better than you. But no, I respect anybody that can sit in that seat, and I think everybody learns a lot when they sit in that seat for the first time, because especially if they go from sitting behind their own live stream on their phone to sitting in a booth with somebody else with a microphone and multiple cameras, it's different, right? It's and being able to have a conversation with people and balance being interesting while also keeping the match relevant is something that's difficult to do. It is not easy. So I'm sure you did just fine though, Doug.
Well, you also have that other added thing of trying to keep Bernie in line as well.
That's true. That's a whole other issue. I got to keep Bernie in line. So, because because he will go. He is if I think I'm a storyteller, Bernie's a 12 out of 10 storyteller. So yes, you gotta rope Bernie back in every once in a while.
Yeah, and he's on the show, and he's been a lot of fun. I got to give him some golf and cornhole kind of coming together, because what is it, the 16th hole at Augusta, I believe it is, the water hole, that there's the guys that are hitting balls across there now. They're skipping balls across that water hole. The first time that was done, 1972, I believe, Jamie Cowan's father, Gary Cowan, cornhole up here, who you've called his match, was the first guy to do it.
That's right. You did tell me that before. Yeah. Now refreshes. Yeah, I bet Bernie loved that fact.
Yeah. So yeah,
Bernie loved that one. I bet.
Bringing this cornhole and golf together, which is,
he is the analogy man. That is for sure.
So yeah. So I know that you're on a hard stop here, and you've got other things you have to do. So I want to thank you for coming on, and I hope we can come on again, because I know there was a tease come out today about some new team event. So
yeah, our team's format, I'll give you a little bit of a tease, and we can talk more about it once we've kind of launched it. But the idea being trying to get more than just 2 ACL pros on a single team. And so we're going to be trying out kind of a beta test of our ACL teams concept in Virginia Beach. At that event, there'll be 16 players per team. And those players, 10 players per team on that one. And those 10 players per team will play a best of 5 head-to-head doubles match and against another team and bracket play. So you'll have 10 players, split them up into 5 teams of 2, go head-to-head against another team of 5. And if you win 3 out of those 5 games, boom, you advance. So really excited to kind of test out this team's concept, because it's something that I think can bring a lot of marketability and sponsorship and revenue and a variety of other things into the league on the pro side. So, we're kind of testing this out, see if it has a lot of fun, has a lot of potential. And if it does, then we're going to, pull the trigger on it to make it a season-long thing for our pros next year.
Well, hopefully that works for you. If not, you can go into our team format that we're coming up here with our Southern Ontario Cornhole Series. These people and their long names for all of their stuff. I know Todd kills me with his virtual stuff, but yeah, we're doing that almost kind of same thing, 10 on 10. It makes for long days, 10 singles games, 10 doubles games, and it's like, I think I've talked about it so much I even forget now, but it's just a full day of that, and then going into a full weekend of cornhole again. Teams from all over Ontario here. It's almost like a travel kind of league where this team goes to this city, this team goes to that city. We're hoping it's going to be fun. We're going to be starting that up here soon. But
nice.
But yeah, so I want to thank you for coming on here, and hopefully we can make this soon once we get into, because we got the pro shootout final coming up in, was it
September?
September, yeah. So maybe after that, we'll let you take a break till like October or something once you start back up. But again, thanks for coming on and doing this.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. As always, appreciate it.
Okay. And again, I want to thank Trey for coming on the show and talking. I know we kind of talked. We had a time limit of what we do. We wanted to go on a little bit longer, but we had a little bit of a time limit there. Thank him again for coming on. It was fun. And you may have noticed that we didn't talk about one thing that has happened in the cornhole world here recently. Unfortunately, we did day early with that show, so all that other news hadn't broke. So if anyone hasn't heard about it, Jordan Canvas suspended a year. So from what we've heard, I haven't seen any kind of statement from the ACL or kind of anything from Jordan as well either. So waiting on all that. So all that is just kind of what people are talking about right now. So he's been suspended, fined as well for, as everyone knows with the score tracker, you're putting in what your score is. He marked himself some wrong scores. PPR went a bit higher. As we all know, the ACL is with DraftKings now, and the gambling on whose PPR will be higher can get into that sort of stuff. So it's unfortunate. I hate it. Jordan is a friend of the show. I've talked to Jordan a few times. He's been on the show and fantastic guy. And I hate it for him just because he is that great of a guy and a fun guy. Be able to see him play in person, and he is, as I said, a great guy. But just it's when you look at the ACL rules and kind of what goes on, and unfortunately, for it to be able to get to that suspension stage, there was already two. There's two levels above that. There's a fine, and then a suspension. So you have to think that was probably talked about beforehand. And as I've talked with some other people here, that with this being so important now, you almost have to see that happen, and you hate to see it happen, but you kind of had to see it happen just to kind of put that in everyone's head that we have to be making sure we're doing these scores right, and you're doing everything kind of to the book, because with people out there gambling money on stuff and that, and really when you're changing the scores like the way that has been kind of put out there, he's not just doing his own scores. If it was what he did, you got to look at his opponent as well too. That is all being changed as well too, because it was talked about, a wash being a lower score and being marked as a higher score. I don't know. I'm not privy to all that information. Like I said, everything has just kind of all been sources. So we don't really know fully yet until ACL talks or Jordan talks. And I know from what stuff I've read with internally stuff, ACL is not going to be making a comment about it, as far as I know. So that's kind of where that sits now. It sucks. I hate even talking about it. So we'll be done with it, and yeah. So we'll see what that comes up with for next year. But as I said on the top of the show, you're in Peterborough this weekend. Head to Haven Brewery. Registration starts at 11. Bags fly at 12. Switcholio format. A lot of fun. A lot of different partners. A lot of great people. I can't wait. There's so many great people in Peterborough that I want to be able to catch up with. It's been too long since I've been able to play some back to them, like Steve Gibson, Mike Ochar, Adam Hubbard, Dave Hubbard, Brian St. Thomas. I got your name right that time. See him, and then there's a whole bunch of new players there that I'm really looking forward to be able to see play live, and maybe get on the show. And like I said, if you're there, you may have a chance of getting on the Down and Back. So that's all I've got. Check out OctaneCornhole.com. Check out Canada Cornhole Supplies. Check out MyEarFun.com. Check out JCCornhole.com. If you are in Sherwood Park, Alberta, check out SierraHome.com. Get your home inspected by Darren. Great guy. Let him know that you heard about it on the show. And yeah, so maybe we'll see you live for some live shows this weekend from Peterborough. We don't know, possibly. Got some new segments coming up here in the near future. Recorded a couple on Monday night at our league. It wasn't a good night at league. If Jamie Cowan, if you would have carried me, we probably would have actually maybe won a game. Just saying. But, as always, watch out for those players throwing gas, because they might just kick your ass.